The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the host and guest and do not reflect the opinions or policies of the station, its owners, or its advertisers. All content should be considered editorial in nature. Listener discretion is advised. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Carolina Cabinet. I'm Peter Pappas, and I'm your host this evening. We are proud to be the only homegrown conservative talk radio show in the region, and we know this is the smartest hour of radio. Our job is to give a voice to the conservatives of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, and beyond. And this evening, I welcome my steady co-host.
Hello.
Mrs. Laura Mussler. Thank you for being here with me through this marathon to try to get through Hope Mills Commission, and welcoming incumbent Hope Mills Commissioner Joanne Scarola.
Why, thank you for having me.
Good evening. So we're going to dive into the show. I do appreciate you all watching live on Facebook, spending time with us this evening. But do take a moment to like, share, or follow us, like they say on YouTube all the time, and look for us at thecarolinacabinet.com. You can find links to all of our shows and how to listen to your favorite podcast broadcaster. So we'll be right back.
The cancel culture is not welcome here. You're listening to the conservative Carolina Cabinet, Eastern North Carolina's most offensive talk show to the freeloading left.
And that we are, very offensive. So good evening, everybody that's watching, and hopefully they'll be watching our recordings later. But thank you for being here this evening.
It's great to be here.
Joanne. So, Laura, you want to jump right in? We can.
We can, because she's been accused of making staff feel like politics trumps professionalism.
Yes.
So it's time to hear it from the source.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't like that face.
What was it? Politics trumps professionalism?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Is that true?
I'm not entirely sure. That's the first time that I've heard that. So,
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, I think it has to do, so look, we've asked everybody that's been in here, the biggest topic du jour is the last Monday's commission meeting. Public perspective, mine included, was that the board went into private session or closed session, hired somebody, came out of closed session, and immediately went to the penalty phase of what we would expect a sitting commissioner to maybe have been given some more due process from our perspective. So tell us what we're missing or what you can talk about. What are we not seeing?
Boy, so I've been watching your guys' podcast.
No fair, you did the Cliff Notes earlier.
I sure
That's
did.
right.
Hey, I won't lie. I have a notepad. So
That a girl. Okay.
But it's a struggle to talk about it because, again, closed session is about personnel, and citizens don't seem to understand that they want to know. They say if we don't discuss it, we're not being transparent.
How much can you be transparent at this point? We've had some from Commissioner Marley and Mayor Bellflower.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've got some latitude, I think.
So I can talk about the one incident that is on social media. One of the people was trying to say it wasn't, and it was, because I see now multiple platforms. The incident at the Waffle House, Wafflegate, as some have been calling it, where allegedly Commissioner Craver had made comments and they were racist in nature, and we've gotten feedback from citizens. Contacted I've been called by the NAACP. I was getting bombarded with phone calls.
Happy birthday.
Yes,
calls?
because they love me so much. But it was a very stressful last few weeks. But I talked with citizens that were directly involved. It's not good. It's bad juju. The closed session, again, is personnel. When we took action with the censure, it was completely separate from closed session issues, because two different things. One's staff, the other's not.
The words due process keep coming into my mind. And Laura, you brought up constitutional, we're innocent until proven guilty. Right?
Yes,
okay.
that's correct.
It's
in the Constitution.
I'm getting,
yeah.
Okay. So
in the 14th Amendment when it comes to the state, but
yeah,
yes.
Supposedly you're innocent until you prove guilty. But to us, the citizens, and I'm not a citizen, I'm not a resident of Hope Mills, but I live in the county and city of Fayetteville. I felt like, and I asked Commissioner Marley, was there not another step besides the optic of closed session, come out, censure, and roll? Could you have not maybe separated yourself from that arm's length and said, we don't agree with what's going in the stratosphere?
And I agreed that the way it looked from the outside person looking in, that it looked like we came from closed session and executed
a character assassination called the October Surprise if we were playing House of Cards.
Isn't that your job as a commissioner, to be transparent and to tell people exactly what's going on so that they can not jump to conclusions that we
correct have? And when we were Mayor Bellflowers had stated, we changed the agenda. We made some additions and deletions at the beginning of the meeting. In foresight, maybe we should have changed it a little differently so it didn't look like we were going from one immediate to and just continuing on.
That concerns me as an elected, that why didn't we take a step back to say, okay, how is this going to, I don't think you should operate based on opinion surveys,
right?
But there's got to be some kind of accounting for just optic a little bit, like, because we are in election season and it has been very contentious to say the least. Okay, so why didn't we just, and I know, look, this is Monday morning, we're quarterbacking, so I can't say why didn't you, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but are we not paying attention to the you're military, right? You used
retired,
to be, right? Situational awareness, another thing they teach y'all?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
As a representative, you would think that would be the first thing that comes to mind.
I would hope.
And and I'll admit, we learn from situations. Do
you feel like you learned from last Monday?
Yeah, I mean, would I've done it differently? How? I don't know how, but it could have been potentially done differently.
You think this is in the bench strength of Joanne Scarola now?
The what?
The bench strength. You've added a nugget to the bench.
I wrote that down. I wrote that down on my notes. So
good,
yes.
Good.
So, but it's when we heard about the issue, it was, gosh, it was just disappointing. It was disappointing. That's the best I could say.
So I have some other questions for you. We don't have to talk about Wafflegate much more, but there is. So look, did you ever tell the department heads, including the town manager and Parks and Rec, hey, if you want to keep your jobs, you better get me and 2 other commissioners reelected?
No.
Okay.
No.
So that is floating around the Twitter sphere, Facebook
sphere,
Twitter spheres.
Just the sphere.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. I have a good rapport with staff, period. I'm always seeking additional information. I stay in, I don't want to say constant contact with the town manager, but if he is the mayor is essentially a figurehead. The town manager is the person that runs the town. I need to know what's going on with the town. That's how I make decisions. So if I constantly am in contact of, hey, what's going on with this? I see this going on. And people want to assume that's an assumption. Okay. I talk with all the staff constantly. Thursday mornings, Mayor Bellflowers had mentioned it, plan review, where we decide what zoning and annexations and all this other stuff. And I'm there listening to stormwater.
Let me ask you about that. So because he mentioned the zoning cases come there, and it's kind of he calls it the square, I think. Isn't that the job of the zoning commission? And they're bringing like the summaries of
correct.
Okay. I was just trying to figure out, at what stage are you getting these?
So I'm just going in there for informational purposes. I want to be able to learn as much as possible, because when the packets come to the board, I want to be like, okay, I know why they're having an issue. This has to still be taken care of as far as fire department, whatever situation, PWC, all that stuff that gets put into these packets. And I like to be ahead of the game. I want to be informed. And so I go to these plan reviews. I've been going since last term. I was still going to them. So it's very informative for me. Case in point, this last meeting, there was a gentleman that wanted to annex into town.
What was that?
There was a gentleman who wanted to annex his property into town. The problem is it's out towards Grace Creek area. It doesn't have water or sewer. They built 295 going through where he was going to hook up, and now there's no way for him to connect. He essentially wanted the town to foot the bill. And I had heard this when he originally came to plan review, and I got the inside of what he was trying to do, and he still wanted to push it to the board. And I was like, no, it was a bad idea. We're not going to pay taxpayer dollars.
What was the development? What kind of a was
houses?
It
Houses.
Was it multifamily? Was it single families?
Off the top of my head,
No.
I can't remember.
And was it like 50 acres, 100? I mean, how big or small of a project?
Off the top of my head, I want to say it was like maybe 70 acres, something like that. But it was the whole issue was no water, no sewer.
Right.
And so they expected the town, and they wouldn't budge on that whatsoever. Is if the town wasn't going to do it, they're like, no, you have to do that. That's the only way. They didn't want to annex in without it. Well, we're not going to annex you too easy. I mean,
was there a cost study done about how much it would have cost to lay in sewer out there?
So one of the things that with PwC at the plan review, it would be expensive. This is, I mean, you're talking.
If there were forethought before 295 went in, you could have laid the pipe prior to.
Well, and that was the thing too, is they owned that land for a substantial amount of time, and I guess they kind of sat on it, and then oops. And
well, okay, but you say substantial amount. I mean, can you quantify? Was it 10 million, 50 million, 2 million? I mean,
that I don't have a
no
number,
idea.
but
Okay.
even a $1 million.
Okay.
I mean,
this is what I'm angling towards. Okay, is sensible management in our towns. All right, because City of Fayetteville, I have several examples of buildings that weren't built to their fullest, highest and best use because the city put a stipulation that you got to put 100 bushes. Or you got to do a crosswalk and signals. It's going to be an extra $200,000. So the landlord or the builder just said, you know what, the hell with you guys. We're just going to build a 5,000-foot building instead of 10.
Yeah.
And what you lose is the perpetuity, property taxes, the sales tax that could be generated. So who's in charge of looking and saying, well, maybe it's worth a $2 million investment?
Well, and that's
not that it necessarily was, but
let's hire somebody.
A consultant?
A consultant.
Okay.
There you go. A
Mussler
planner.
Consulting over here.
I mean, and that was the one thing is, I can't remember the number. Well, and with plan review, because it was only for annexation, we didn't get specific numbers of how many they were building. It's just a matter of they want to come into Hope Mills. That's essentially the information packet. So, but we knew they were going to have to hook up to water, and any amount of money, because I seen in the news where the county and Fayetteville also just put money towards these grants for the steel company that's going to expand.
Yes.
And I can see, okay.
I think that was 700,000. I think that between county and city, it was Hercules Steel.
Yeah, correct.
But that is some, and what people don't understand about economic development is that, that might be a little bit of cash, but the other incentive don't get paid unless the company delivers.
Correct.
That's right.
Like there's somebody at the state the Department of Commerce that keeps track of, did they build the job or did they bring the job or whatever. So.
But ultimately the issue was that even if we built what was needed to get them that water, we would have to, because they didn't want their HOAs to take care of it. We would have to be stuck with the bill to not only pay for it, maintenance of it. And so you're talking about decades around the road where we're expecting taxpayers to continually pay for this. And I was like, no, that's not feasible. And it's an annexation. We have, they can sell the property and put a park there for all I care, but we can pass on that.
Okay. Well, and again, that's just my experience as building things. And it's just like, somebody has to have you mentioned strategic plan. Or did she?
I didn't, but I'm going to.
Okay.
But
We talked about it. Okay. So, strategic plan. Who is strategically looking and saying, okay, this development could be worthwhile. Let's spend a little bit to get in perpetuity this tax revenue. So,
well, that should have been looked at before 295 went over where they could have.
295 is a 25-year-old, 30-year-old project, I think.
I understand that
at this point,
but it's taken a lot longer to get out that way. So holy smokes, before we do that, we've grown so much. Let's lay some pipe prior to them putting it.
Especially,
whatever, go away.
Jesus. Wow, and they say I'm bad, but
I apologize to
No.
anybody that might be offended, but let's lay the groundwork
Normally
for PWC.
that's the kind of crap I say, and then
But I
you know,
said it, and I didn't think about it until you
obviously,
reacted.
yeah. Well,
That
thanks a
that
lot.
was the
Well,
opinion of
I'm-
him, not necessarily the
I-
opinion of Commissioner Joanne Scarola. Thank you. Just making that clear.
Anyway, but let's go ahead and lay the groundwork because you've had long enough for 295. I mean, it's taken forever. We're growing so quickly.
Mhm.
Where is the foresight? And hold on, let's take a step back, kind of like the county commissioners did. Let's take a step back and say, hey, we can improve this right now. Where was that?
Exactly. You know,
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean exactly? You were part of the
well,
commission.
we had no, as far as the foresight for them to build that, that's not our responsibility. Again, this is county land. So it's not like we could build onto it. We would have to annex in. They didn't have the foresight.
Okay.
So our hands were off of that.
Okay.
Well, it's not like there wasn't a warning that 295 was coming.
And
It's
that's-
only
I-
like a
that's
20,
what I say for
it's like
years
30-year
and
project
years.
in the making.
Mhm.
But let's hope that we get I-685 to come and come down 95. That will be a big help, and hopefully our delegation's not going to piss off DOT this time, and we'll get them down to Fayetteville,
Yeah.
not like we did with I-95. So, Joanne, would you describe your leadership style as assertive or just a bully?
Well, of course, bully. No, I'm assertive. You know, I did 20 years in the military, and people are like, well, a lot of people did 20 years in the military.
Yeah.
You know, I did 6 deployments, 5 of them were combat. Does that make me a little different? Maybe. I also grew up in New York. Does that make me a little different? Potentially. There's a lot. It's my personality. I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
How long have you been a resident of Hope Mills?
So I bought my house in 2008.
Mhm.
When I bought it, I had orders to move to Fort Hood, Texas. That was in 2012. From Fort Hood, I moved to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I retired in 2018 and I moved back.
Okay.
So,
All right. So about 7 years. Okay. Well, since you've been back.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're not really a Yankee anymore. Sorry. I mean, you know, you've been down here. You've been absorbed.
I'm disappointed in you.
I mean, sorry.
Well, she still talks like one.
Nobody retires.
It's worse
up,
if I go home.
Nobody retires up north. So
That's true. You
nobody
are very
goes up
true.
there. So
And the same thing that I always say, am I intimidating or are you intimidated? I say that
I can't.
because I don't find myself, and I think I'm one of the easiest people in the world to talk to, aren't I, Peter?
It's not my fault if people feel a certain way about me. I can't help that. That's their opinion of me.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
But I do take some self-inventory and know that I am come across hard, so I do try to come across less hard.
I think she admitted to being
Hard.
She blamed it on her
Military.
her northern upbringing.
Well, you know, it was funny.
So just add a bless your heart every once in a while. No, everybody will forgive you.
You know, it was funny because I was labeled a bully and combative like a few weeks right before I had hip replacement. They're like, you jumped out of your chair. I'm like, how did I jump? I need a hip. That's not, no. So, you know, I have one titanium hip or wherever it's made out of. I'm older. I want to live a quiet life. Does it happen that way? No.
Okay. So, being in public office, do you feel like you've been maybe been attentive to the bully persona? Maybe have tried to change a little bit to just to soften the interactions, maybe.
Well,
Not everybody's going to like you. Okay?
Because and I will say no because people judge me because I do a fireside chat after board of commissioner meetings and I use vulgarity. It's my house, that's unprofessional. It's my house, people. It's not like I'm not paying. I don't get this high speed equipment. It's my house. Then
what does that mean, a fireside chat? So you're discussing about what happened in the commission?
Yes, correct, the meetings.
Okay.
So I review everything that happened in the meeting. I try to leave the political drama out of it, but usually if I get commenters, that it winds up happening. And some, for the most part, it's pretty calm. It's not really too dramatic, but again, it's
what was the motivation to start doing those chats?
Because people constantly say that they're not getting the information. So I figure social media is a great aspect. So
good and bad.
Well, I would listen, except for if you started. I'm not saying anything. I'm not.
Do not start clutching your pearls.
I'm gonna clutch my pearls.
All right. Go ahead.
I don't curse. I don't think ladies should curse. Period. I can tell you a brief, real quick story about it. I saw the most beautiful woman in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I had to stop eating. She sat down next to us, and the vulgarities that came out of her mouth were disgusting, and she was no longer beautiful. And I said, I pray that nobody ever thinks I'm good looking and they hear the vulgarities come out of my mouth and think that too. I would not listen to somebody that continually curse, especially somebody that's supposed to represent me, because that doesn't represent me.
And and I understand that aspect. I try
now, in your personal life, do whatever you want, but you're representing the city.
And exactly when
Have you dropped any F-bombs on the dais?
No,
Okay.
no, absolutely.
There's still time.
No, challenge accepted. No, but it's my personality. I get it. I try to control it as much as I possibly can when I catch it. But Commissioner Marley was saying, when we get heated and we get assertive and we just let words fly, and we get frustrated, and that's definitely when it really flies. Like I said, I'm not going to be able
you don't have to apologize or anything. I'm just telling you how you are in the South, and we do clutch our pearls. I'm not from the South, but I still clutch my pearls. I don't have them on today, but I would.
However, we did elect Donald John Travius Trump. Have you seen those TikToks with the
And I will tell you exactly what I say. While I support his policies, I do not support the way he speaks.
But we overwhelmingly elected him.
Yes,
we're not allowed to clutch our pearls much these days.
But and also the aspect I look at too is social media followers, the ones that are constantly in conversation. They loved it when I was vulgar, when it helped their agenda, so to speak, and attacked the people they wanted attacked.
So why do you want to give them fuel?
Fuel for what? More cursing?
For just being. Look, the best advice I ever got, and this will be free advice from the Candidate Resource Center with me and Laura, as an elect. Go lay some pipes someplace, okay? So
I don't have a pipe to lay. Thank you very much. That would be a you thing.
You are a
you guys have been doing this for a few hours now. Really I can tell you're getting tired.
Yeah. Jesus, I forgot what the hell I was going to say.
Friendly advice.
Friendly advice is, as an elected or running for office, scroll past.
I seen when you said that earlier.
Please, God, it was the best advice I ever got from my first campaign. And I will admit, I was talking to Mother today, and I was saying, Mom, I only had like 2 or 3 bad interactions running for office. I never sat in the seat, but I was fortunate. My parents thought I was out here like gladiator style, like on Fox News versus CNN, and I was just like having to defend for my life. Now, with the violence that happened with Charlie Kirk recently and all, that is something that I think that all electeds need to kind of take into consideration. So just from that standpoint, for your own well-being, maybe lower the temperature a little bit.
And I agree. And, like, I believe it was Mayor Bellflower that
advice is done.
It is good advice, because I actually, when you mentioned that to Mayor Bellflowers, I was like, it is good advice. Again, that aspect where you get frustrated and you're like, that's not completely accurate, and you want to respond because you're knowing this misinformation is getting put out there, and you're like, oh, let me step
So that's
away.
a place where your fireside chats can work. If you do it, like I said, that would be something.
And that's
if my representative did that, I would love that, as long as he didn't
curse.
Right.
Well, no, that's advice.
I don't mind. To be honest, I am a whatever. I don't think women should curse. If a man curses, I don't care. It's just a thing.
Double standard.
That's exactly right. Men have a place in life, and it is in a different place than a woman has.
It's a man's world. It's tough over here.
And I will.
And again, like, and for that aspect, like I said, I did 20 years in the military.
Right.
My first deployment was the invasion of Iraq. I was the only female in my platoon, so I stayed in a tent with other males for my safety, because there was other soldiers, and for my safety, I stayed with my male soldiers for my well-being and safety.
So I'm scared of her.
I'm kind of wanting to see the sensitive flower, Scarola. I don't imagine her.
They say you also do breakfast with the commissioner.
Yes, but I've been going back to college, so I haven't been able to.
What are you studying in college?
What are you going to be when you grow up?
So my previous associate's degree was in automotive systems technology, and then I also did
such a feminine field.
Yes, my tattoos as well, So I also did welding as a certification.
What, do you want her to be a florist?
No, I'm impressed. I mean,
talk about typecasting.
Again,
I'm impressed.
I am too.
Yeah.
I played hockey as a girl growing up. Okay. I did martial
I
arts.
coached football, so I do understand
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I was taking digital media. I wanted to fix the town's website because I've heard nothing but complaints, and we don't have the money to mess with it.
Well,
so I was like,
okay.
I'll do it myself.
Small nugget, point of privilege. I was told about Mills Days today.
Old Mill Day?
Old Mill Day, whatever. And they said it's on the town website. So I went to the town website. It's not there. I Googled it. I found an entry from 2019 on the town website, but Distinctly Fayetteville has it, where I can even add it to my calendar. Which
So
is
she
very
is going
convenient.
to school just to serve the community. That's
because
awesome.
I have the GI Bill, and I also through the VA Voc Rehab when I switch over. So it's not like I'm paying out of pocket. I get paid to go to school, and so I might as well use it. I did my 20 years for it. So
well, in the meantime, why don't you just tell old Mr. McLaughlin, maybe add that to the calendar. I was a little disappointed. I'm like, oh, cool, they got a calendar. Then I'm like, it's
so
not
when
there.
we started this, you said that you like the employees, the city employees.
They are very.
How do they feel about you?
I believe they like me too. I've had nothing but positive feedback. I try to attend every town event that I possibly can. National Night Out, Old Mill Day, every year, Christmas parades, all the parades. For a couple of the first 2 terms, I was getting all the Jeep clubs in the 4th of July parades. And so it was constantly, I was trying to help them as much as they help the elected. Because how can I put this? I don't like how some people look down to them, to the staff.
The staff.
Because some people look at elected like we're high on this kind of pillar. And I'm like, no, I am Joanne. I'm Joanne all the way.
And if anything, you're an employee of ours, of those people.
Exactly.
But,
and it's important to have good rapport with the staff because they have to work for you. And why would you make them in any kind of job? Why would you make them miserable?
The rumor is that we've got town employees that file complaints, verbal abuse, retaliation, fear in the workplace. If it's, you're painting a different picture, but do you think that that's going on? Do they feel intimidated, or is there a case to be made for that?
Again, it's personnel, so I really can't. I can tell how I feel when they interact with me.
Okay.
I can't speak for how they may feel towards other people.
Maybe we can get some town employees on the
they won't.
live.
They can't.
Okay.
They're not. They can comment anonymously on the.
Yeah, maybe anonymously.
Yeah,
say,
we'd love to hear from you.
Exactly, 100%. You can DM me personally, and I won't say your name.
Yeah, sneak into my DMs. You'll find me. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I have a thought about the parades. None of the parades in this town, now they do in other town, allow political floats or political stuff. Why not?
I have no idea. I've never.
They don't like Republicans. That's why.
I don't know. I remember this was back maybe 2010 when they had the issue with racism in the one float for 4th of July. Well, maybe that had something to do with it.
What happened?
Oh, you were
something about a noose or something?
No.
Stars and bar? I don't remember.
It was a track. There was a tractor pulling a wagon, and it had watermelons and a black caricature on it.
So punish everybody because somebody's an idiot. Well, that goes. Yeah,
pretty much.
That's stupid.
Oh,
That's part of the problem with society today. We're punishing everybody for something that one person does. We all get participation trophies.
It's like the military, mass punishment.
That's not right. We're each responsible for our own behavior.
Yep. And a-holes come in all colors, as we've decided and learned in our careers here. So, all right. So we have asked you about staff. We have asked you.
Residents want amenities beyond housing. So what is your plan and your timeline to land sit-down restaurants and key retailers?
So that's a really good question and this is where it ties in where I go to plan review. I like to hear when we get something good coming because, I'm when I heard Target was coming, I was like, Target, my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
I don't shop there because they have bathing suits.
They have what?
Bathing suits where they promote tucking your genitalia.
Oh, so I
that's
have a
part of
place
the-
to buy a bikini now.
Yeah, you go, girl.
All right.
Well, Target's also oriented towards females, more likely, like,
Yeah, normally
it's-
not ones with
Genitalia.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
Anyways,
Oh.
but-
She's excited about Target. Can you let her have her excitement
Okay,
about
go
Target?
ahead. I
please?
apologize. I
Such
didn't
a
mean
buzzkill.
to rain on your
you
parade.
know, tattoos.
We're talking about
first, and
parades.
Everything else is parade now. But one of the struggles is, and this was discussed previously, I think we even brought up at town hall meeting, where if we constantly say no to development of any kind, they all talk to each other. They see this and they're going to be like, well, no. We actually had a case, and the town manager even spoke on it. We had a sit down restaurant want to come. They watched the Board of Commissioners meeting. Now, granted, this would happen a couple of years ago, but they watched the Board of Commissioners meeting, see how they treated, I guess, developers, saw how they did the whole zoning and planning stuff, and said, no, forget it. We're not going to go. We'll go to Fayetteville. And so we've lost developers that way. So we have to do smart development. Because ultimately that's our tax base. Real estate is our number one tax base, whether it be apartments, houses, or commercial industry. And that's where we get our tax dollars from.
Okay. Plus, keeps people from having to go into Fayetteville.
Correct.
That's right.
Maybe alleviate some of that traffic. Keep it all in Hope Mills.
No, that makes the traffic in Hope Mills worse.
Yeah,
That's
yes.
horrible.
This is not traffic. I'm from New York. When people say there's traffic, if you have to sit through one stoplight, that is not traffic.
Well, and the DOT does have your town upside down at this
Correct.
moment, especially
Correct.
down Rockfish Road. But hopefully,
And
when
we
are
don't live in New York. We live in,
Yeah, I
in the
live
country.
here,
This
so
is, yes.
that
it
extra
could be
stoplight-
worse is my whole thing.
You know,
Everything could be worse. There's
my
always
Popeye's
something
chicken
worse.
can get cold at that extra stop slot.
You
That's
know,
exactly right.
DoorDash needs to speed through. Yeah.
Yeah. You can still get Baldino's DoorDash in Hope Mills, by the way. So, anyway,
Speaking of
yeah,
that,
yeah,
Baldino's,
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, I know.
we got a smoke shop.
We miss you too, but they pay rent, so
Great
You
for-
see this
good
gray?
for you.
You see this gray?
Great.
Enough.
Yes.
27 years. but
Awesome.
We'll be back.
Don't
Yeah.
do you think it's wrong for the government to decide what somebody can do on their own
Oh,
property?
have you watched the Town of Hope Mills meetings?
I mean, I just think that he owns the property. It's
now-
none of your business
and
what he does
now-
on it, in my
and
personal
for that
opinion.
aspect, I do believe now we do have ordinances in place where they limit
Right.
how many
And how do you feel about that?
because that is down the road from an elementary school.
Mhm.
So I feel a little concerned about that. But again, hopefully they ID
Well, they're not
and
selling.
whatever.
They're not selling weed, by the way. They're not, or
Yeah.
whatever. The Delta
CBDs,
8. Not,
yeah, whatever.
They're tobacco only. So I did look into that at least. But no, the motivation behind the ordinances that prevent them opening was not as altruistic as put out.
No.
There were lawyers for certain tobacco people that were arguing for it to cut down competition.
Yeah, and I
So,
agree.
And
again, we don't have control. We only control Hope Mills. If Cumberland County, which Hope Mills is only about 8 miles,
Cumberland passed the ordinance. I think you guys might have
adopted it afterwards.
copied it or something.
Probably.
Cut and paste, cheaper.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that if you're at the Cumberland County border, can you still build in Hope Mills?
Right.
I'm not going to go into that. But
Yeah. Okay. Well, want to talk property taxes?
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, it's-
Somebody's asking for the video
Oh.
the video of what?
of the event, the 9/11 event.
The 9/11 event?
So we're talking about Commissioner Craver, and Commissioner Craver will be on Wednesday
Yep.
in the afternoon.
Hopefully
I think.
we'll have the video by then.
Yeah.
Maybe
so-
somebody could send us
Well,
the
and that's-
video so that we could, because everybody's talking about it now.
the allegation. It's 2025. Who the hell doesn't have a phone or video watching or recording? If it's such a visceral thing that we're going to vilify a commissioner, no matter who it is, there's got to be some video
Yeah,
evidence.
just because you
whatever.
don't like somebody does not mean that
Yeah.
you should do something or take one person's word
I see
over
Commissioner
another.
Scarola kind of twitching over there. So go ahead, tell me.
Oh, no, I'm
You-
just
okay,
nodding in
you just-
agreement.
okay.
And
So
I'm
have
also
you
sweating too.
seen this video? That
I
is-
have not personally.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, whoever has the video, send it to me at my on my messenger. I put my email in there, lauramussler@gmail.com or lauraontheloose@myyahoo.com.
Did you set one up?
I sure
Atta
did.
girl. I love it.
So we would love to have it, but because the commissioner in question is coming on our show on Wednesday, so we would love to be able to play it so that we can discuss it frame by frame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We'll break it down for sure. All right, property taxes. You money grabbing people.
Yeah.
Myself included.
Why?
I grabbed my own money.
Yes, you
yes,
did.
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
So your town revenue neutral rate was 31 cents, which
Correct.
means you get the same amount of money that you did the previous year. But then why is the rate 48 cents?
So we lost our sales tax revenue. All right. So we lost about 2 million. Spring Lake lost about 1.3. I think
And
Fayetteville,
why was that?
because we went, there was a interlocal agreement that was done for years. It was supposed to, I guess they were supposed to change to ad valorem for a while, and they sat on it and sat out. And when it finally happened,
Okay, so it
we
went from
lost this
sales
money.
tax allocated to just property tax allocation. Is that what? See, we keep saying it. I'm trying to better just suss it out, like what it really changed. So the county collects all the sales tax,
Mhm.
and were they giving it back to the municipality? How did that? So what did they change really?
So they changed about the factoring. So per capita is by
person.
people, and ad valorem is a different kind of. I would have to actually Google it how the factoring is done, but it's less. I mean, it's substantially less. I mean, we lose 2 million just from that alone. Now, will we make up tax money? Yes, potentially we will. Will at that point we'll be able to properly potentially lower the tax rate? We should be able to, but we don't know yet. We have to see how much we actually get in.
Okay, so about how much of the between 31 and 48 cents? How much was that 2 million? And you think
it was
that the bulk of maybe
10
the
cents?
increase?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
10 cents because
Okay.
I
Get
got
your
my notes.
Yes.
10 cents. So revenue neutral, as you said, was 31. 10 cents was to make up the sales tax revenue because.
So that means you're revenue neutral now at 41 cents. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, that's not revenue neutral,
No,
but that's
it's
kind,
but
it is
that's as
because,
best as we could do
right,
at
understood.
the bare minimum.
Okay.
And so 1 cent is equal to just over $200,000. So we had to do 10 cents, 200,000.
Basically, it was out of your control that you had to make that money up.
We had
somehow.
to. We had no choice.
Or you can just shut down a fire station.
And I try to,
right?
and you're very, and I try to explain that to people.
But my house is on fire.
Oh, well.
The struggle is real. And I try to explain that to citizens. I was like, okay, now we did add on some stuff, but we kicked the can down the road for a lot of stuff. When do we stop?
Well, by your estimation, 200,000, 1 penny. So you added about 1.4 million to the budget. On what?
200. 2 million.
2 million? No. Forget the I'm talking about the difference between 41 and 48 now. That's 7 cents left.
Yeah.
By 2 is about 1.4.
So again, about 4 cents went to public safety. About 1 cent went to public works, and the other 2 cents went to like all the other, we need this, that maybe didn't have. It was smaller amounts that came together.
We need this, we need that, like vehicles, or I mean, just equipment stuff.
Equipment, essentially.
So when you acquire that equipment, will the taxes go back down?
Some of that stuff is like when I say equipment, I also mean like software programs. Some of that has to be renewed annually. So that's a constant fee. Maintenance and upkeep, that's a fee. What else? I'm trying to see.
What kind of public works are y'all running? I know you used to have sanitation guys. Do you still?
We do. I believe they only do trash. Okay. I believe the recycling is waste management. And then our town does
what
do
else
the
is under
leaves.
public works? You don't have your own water.
No, but we have road repair, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have stormwater that deals with.
So you guys,
how far behind are you guys on road repair? Because I know the city is very far behind, like 10 years behind where they're supposed to be on road repair. Where are you guys at?
So I can tell you right now, one of our worst roads is Pringle Way. That itself is going to cost $2 million. And that's not counting all the other roads that needs repair.
But aren't you on like a calendar where they
go
through?
We do.
So how far behind are you that road got that bad?
Honestly, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell it without looking at the list to see specifically where we're at.
Okay. And how many police officers are supposed to be in a city of Fayetteville? What is the ideal
Hope Mills?
Hope Mills, I'm sorry. What is the ideal number of people?
Right now we're at a good number. We are able to have the police department open full time. I want to say we're about 55, 60, somewhere around that number.
Okay, and you're fully staffed, or
Correct.
do you have shortages?
We can always use more.
I think they stole our cops from Fayetteville.
Well,
That's how they got fully stocked.
we can always use more.
Okay.
And that's, I mean,
Well,
we
you
can-
can't always use more. You have a budget.
well, correct. I mean, but as far as if money was no object, we could always use more public
Well, if
safety.
money was no object.
I mean, if
you
money
wouldn't
was
be
no
raising my
object.
taxes.
but yes.
I'm trying to make the distinction that the above the 41 cents
Mhm.
was not you and the commission going out with a credit card,
Going to Florida on
going
vacation.
to Florida. And well, there was some concern about
so-
a trip or something.
God.
Yeah. Tell us
You
about
know,
it.
National
what you
League of
can.
Cities, that is almost like
That's
every
like y'all Super Bowl, pretty much. That's a big deal.
We learn a lot, and people don't like to hear this. We learn a lot. When we went to one of our conferences, that's where we got the Widow Bryan, our grant writer. And now, because we can't afford it, we had to cut the grant writer program. But we wouldn't have learned this stuff just sitting here in Hope Mills. We have to network, and we go to talk with other municipalities that are going through the same thing that we are going through.
Do you have a sister city?
Mm-mm. Not like Fayetteville. I wish.
Weren't we working on 3 of them? I think?
Yes.
City of Fayetteville. We
Yeah,
have
so.
St. Avold, France, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. They were trying to. It was
It's
on
just
the-
a way that they get a paid vacation to some exotic place.
Yep.
And just in my personal opinion.
sponsored
but,
by your City of Fayetteville Human Relations Department. So.
yes.
Yeah.
But to me, a sister city would be somewhere here in North Carolina that's very similar to.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Well,
it's very similar, so that you guys can compare what's working, what's not working.
Nightdale, and we've
Okay.
actually spoke with elected from there. They're very similar as far as very close in size, population, and how they have their land use plans and stuff like that. If you Google it, you'll get a lot of information. They're very similar. As people are like, we're not Cary. No, we're not Cary. We're definitely not built to be, like Cary.
Right.
But if you look up Nightdale, North Carolina, very similar.
Okay.
See, that to me is drawing
Makes more
on.
sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
So we
drawing
can
on
network.
information.
And,
Yes.
Yeah. We
that's
don't
exactly
always
right.
have to go to Florida. Well, whatever. The NLC is a big deal,
Mhm.
and it is very well attended. And I think even our own city, I think Mayor Pro Tem Jensen was offered a vice chair or chairman seat.
She
there.
she is actually she was one of the she's the large city. She was on the seat for the large cities. Now she finished her term
Mhm.
and she nominated Mayor Mitch Colvin. Whether or not he goes, that's I don't know, but she nominated him, and I asked her about that at the conference. I was like, what was that about?
Yeah. Now what's going on? Yeah. Well, I think. I
That
think,
just made things that make you go,
Yeah.
because she was very attentive to it. She
Right.
took it seriously.
Yes. Well, and that is something very important that we want out of our electeds is we don't need you to take a seat to take up space.
Correct.
We need you to take a seat and get to work
Mhm.
and be responsive and transparent and all that other good stuff. And don't be such a damn Yankee and be nice to people and don't bully people. So did I get it all in a nutshell?
I think you pretty
I
much
think I
did.
have that wrote
Yeah,
down.
did
Okay.
you get that? All right.
All right,
It's,
yeah.
it's recorded.
Good.
And
so,
scroll
okay.
past.
All right. Scroll
Scroll
past.
past.
Scroll
Yes.
past. So I think
Is that
we're-
it?
I
Holy
think
smokeronis,
We're
that
at
was-
40
wow.
some minutes.
Wow.
I think believe it or not, that went by pretty quickly. So
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to my on-air cabinet member, Mrs. Laura Mussler, over here in the
Thank you,
corner.
thank you.
For being here with me all the way through the marathon of this evening. And I do want to thank Commissioner Joanne Scarola. Thank you for being here and working with my crazy schedule.
And thank
no
you to
problem.
all
So,
of the video people that
Everybody
participated
watching,
on
thank
Facebook.
you so much.
Yes,
I
thank
hope
you.
you'll do us a favor this week and
See you on Wednesday.
see you on Wednesday, actually. Yeah. So you can find us on your favorite podcast broadcaster, Apple, Spotify, Google, Audible. We're everywhere. So Google us. You can also look for us online at thecarolinacabinet.com. You can find all our videos and links. And thank you for tuning in this evening.
And don't
Have a
forget
good
to
night.
send me that video.
Yes, find that video.